And again, I'd like to welcome you. The idea of building a resilient community here in Port Alberni is of prime importance to many of us. There's been a great deal of thought going into it from a number of quarters, a lot of activists discussing, and really when the rubber hits the road, the true sustainability is, at least in large part, consists of people doing business locally, buying locally, producing locally, and generating but ideas within the community. And some people have already started doing that. And oh, there he is.
I knew I'd come after Cindy and have to. Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Weegar. I'm the Regional Director for North Island College here in town. My presentation won't be quite as long or as extensive as Cindy's was, partly because as a college we're not doing a great deal of green technologies currently, although we are exploring a number of options, and I want to talk a little bit about that. But part of the reason we're not doing a great deal is because, we're really not as large as the BCITs or the SAITs in Calgary in terms of their ability to do green technologies. I mean, they tend to be innovators and very much at the forefront of training and research around green energies, green technologies. But we are exploring a few things, and one of the areas that currently is sort of front and center for us in terms of doing some exploration is in the trades. Our Dean of Trades is currently hiring a consultant to have a review for us around green technologies in two areas. One of them is sort of the green energies, the solar panels, wind turbine, perhaps tidal energy, that sort of thing. And another area is in the greening of building technologies. So whether it's in our electrical program or whether it's in our carpentry program, teaching students in a variety of ways about the green technologies that have been in use or are emerging. And in fact, one of our instructors, Guy Langlois, is here, and Guy has a background in green technologies from Vancouver Island University that at some point very quickly hopefully we'll be relying on. So we are exploring this topic very, very quickly and hoping to move in that area in a broader way. We also have recently put a proposal forward in partnership with EcoTrust Canada, 5 First Nations on the West Coast, and 2 other post-secondary institutions, VIU and the Nicola Valley Institute of Technology, for a fairly innovative program on the West Coast. Unfortunately, it hasn't received a positive response at this point from the federal government, who we've applied to. But we're still pushing it and we're still hoping to get a response. And it's essentially a program that really focuses on local control of local resources, and particularly around building. We're calling it a Standing Trees to Standing Timber program, which is really geared around the whole realm of harvesting, milling timber, and ultimately building it into a viable construction, whether it's a local house or a commercial building sort of thing. We have a culinary arts program in town. I think some of you are familiar with it. We currently offer it and have for many years in the old ADSS cafeteria, the current ADSS cafeteria. We do it as an evening program after the high school is finished their day. Of course, that facility will no longer be available to us after this year because of the closure of ADSS and the opening of the new school, which we're also very excited about. But we appealed to our ministry and sort of said, look, we need some facilities for this program, or unfortunately we're probably going to be faced with closing the program down. And they responded favorably, and we're now building a new facility on campus. So the culinary arts will be moving back to the Roger Creek campus in Port Alberni. And that program really focuses on local production, local foods. We're hoping to give it a much stronger emphasis around First Nation foods and First Nation cooking methods. We believe that the resorts on the West Coast would be very pleased with cooks coming out, with chefs coming out with that kind of skill training. And there is no other program on the island that has that sort of a focus. I was just having a conversation today with a community member about a program he's familiar with called Natural Steps, a sustainability program that can be built into business. And we're looking at whether or not we can build that into our business admin program. I'd love to develop a business course where students are learning about sustainability from a business administration perspective and building that into their business admin program. So we have a number of initiatives sort of on the go that we're exploring. And I'm happy to talk with any of you afterwards about some of those initiatives or some of the things we could be doing. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Tom. And next up would be Wade Nicklin. Wade's not among us? All righty, well, we'll just go ahead then. Sean Flynn had to beg off. He said that just too much business to do and can't put it down. Jason Simard from Coastal Credit Union.
All right. Well, thank you for the opportunity to represent Coastal Community Credit Union, who I think plays a big role in the Alberni Valley community. But I think due to the fact that we don't have huge marketing budgets, we don't often get the credit for the things that we do in the community. So one of the reasons I'm here tonight is to sort of tell you what we're doing in the community right now. So Coastal Community Credit Union, as you know, just recently was awarded we were number 20 in Canada for most engaged employees, or our employees were basically filled out a survey, and that survey rated us 20th in Canada with all companies as far as engagement. So we have very engaged employees, and one of the reasons we're engaged is because we care about the communities that we live in. I live here in Port Alberni, and so do my staff, and we're fortunate to work for an organization where we can earn a fair wage and have benefits and those great things. But we don't take that for granted. We take that as hey, you know what, we need to get out in the community and make a difference. So some of the things that we do is we've worked with local agriculture in the Alberni Valley to help promote agriculture, which, you know, for a lot of people, they don't know where to go if they want to get good local produce. A lot of people don't know where you go for that. Well, we've helped put together a directory. We've helped put together a barbecue the last few years. And this barbecue showcases the local agriculture that's available here in the Alberni Valley. And that's been very successful. We were able to raise over $6,000 over the last few years for the Bread of Life doing that event. We are out in the community helping do work with different community groups. We provide free banking services for nonprofit organizations. In a time where, you know, funding is tough and lacking right now, we're providing free banking services to those kind of organizations. So these are just some of the small things that we do. And somebody asked me tonight, they said, what do you guys do with your profits? You know, I know banks make huge profits, and you know, what do credit unions do with their profits? It's pretty simple. We give our profits back directly to the communities that we serve, to our members, and directly to making the communities that we serve healthier and stronger. So that's what the credit union is all about. It's about making a difference locally in the community. Those are just some of the things that we're doing, and I apologize, I'm a little nervous to be in front of all you today, but we're doing a lot in the community right now, and we would love your support. You know, the more business that people do with credit unions, the more they're giving back directly to their communities. And every dollar that people invest or do business with a credit union stays locally in that community, and a lot of people don't know that. Coastal Community Credit Union employs over 650 people, and they all work here on Vancouver Island. We don't have call centers in Toronto, Pakistan, or India, or any places like that. Our people are right here on Vancouver Island, and they're spending money locally in the communities. And so I wanted to end on just asking people to think, does it matter where people spend their money? And I truly believe that it does, and I want you guys to just take that away and think about that. Does it matter where people spend their money and invest their money? And I like to think that it does. So thank you.
Thank you, Jason. Mr. Watson.